I wanted to mention that because of that, because of the workers rising up, but also because of bus drivers getting sick, and because of bus drivers and even states in here exactly why. But the National Guard has been deployed in Massachusetts as the pandemic worsens school bus
Right.
driver shortage. But it's not necessarily the pandemic worsening it,
Yeah.
although the part of the reason why, now remember, our old friend Jerry White. Jerry White,
Right.
who was interviewed by Jimmy Dore in January of 2021.
Yeah.
But Jerry White, who also does some excellent work. And in this case, 250 National Guard troops got deployed to transport students in the state as school districts are scrambling to deal with the nationwide shortage of bus drivers. All right, and this isn't just in Massachusetts, this is nationwide. And nobody's really talking about this
Right.
because you don't have any parents. That's not true. I am a parent of young children on the left. Yeah, see, Darlene's saying they're begging for bus drivers in Springfield, but they'll explain why. The action by this Republican governor takes place as the Biden administration and politicians from both parties risk the lives of millions. This is where they're getting a little editorial. Risk the lives of millions of
Yeah.
students and school employees by opening schools amid the surge of COVID infections and deaths. And again, I
Yeah.
disagree with the sentiment here specifically, but the facts that they're reporting, 90 soldiers would begin training Tuesday to transport students in the Chelsea, Lawrence, Lowell, and Lynn school systems. Military transport vans known as 7D vehicles, which have a maximum of 11 seats, including the driver, will be used to drive a token number of special needs students back and forth from school. A bus monitor will be aboard each vehicle. So it's not just going to be the soldiers. There will be some kind of a bus monitor in some case, in some way, shape, or form that will not be
Yeah.
military. All right. If more qualified drivers could not be found, we'll try to serve as many communities as we can. Okay. BPS uses the private operator Transdev to transport 25,000 students a day, which is half the district. Driver shortage and last minute routing changes have resulted in many delays since the district opened last Sunday.
Does this tie in at all to the ones in Chicago that went on like strike essentially?
Well, that's
Is that
part of it.
Chicago or was that?
Well, that's exactly what
Yeah.
that's funny that you mention that because in Chicago, officials have started to give money to parents to hire Uber drivers. And in Iowa, teachers and
Yeah.
staff are being
Yeah. That's
asked
what
to
I was
get licensed.
hearing.
Yeah, now teachers and staff in Iowa, old school, they're getting bus licenses. So they're going to pick the
I
kids up
wonder
on their
how
way to
Uber
school.
got that deal.
Someone give Wardier a wrench. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not on the stream right now, Phantom. My internet is super slow, but I can't do that. I don't think
Um.
you need to have his Google ID. It's a pain in the butt. Unless you can do that from the three dots in chat on the YouTube stream. I don't know if you can. I think I might be
I'm
the only one who
looking.
can. Um,
Yeah.
but what's crazy here?
I
This
can
is the
put
most
Wardier in
interesting.
timeout, but that's about it.
These might be the most interesting paragraphs right here. School bus drivers, many of whom are older and have underlying health conditions, are retiring in droves. Okay, but the shortage predates the pandemic and was
We'll get you the
driven
Wardier at some point.
by decades of bipartisan budget cutting, school bus privatization, mass layoffs, which gutted the jobs, pay and medical benefits, retirement benefits of bus drivers. Now districts are offering meager pay
Yeah.
bump, signaling bonuses to lure them back. However, signing bonus, not signaling bonuses. However, yeah, heavy on the vodka, nice. You can have some of that. Older workers with underlying conditions, prospective new hires don't want to risk their lives or bring home the disease to their loved ones. That's the problem is being around kids that are unvaccinated and the whole thing. And that's what they're saying. We're afraid. All right. Kids have better immune system than the older drivers. But if they get sick, we're going to get COVID immediately. You're asking a bus driver and an aide to risk their lives. That's why most of the drivers are quitting. New drivers are quitting after working a week or two because they're getting
That's why
sick or being quarantined.
there
Ah,
was
we
there was
sure
the guy
did.
in New York doing the construction or whatever,
Shit,
right?
Warren got
Like,
us.
you'll miss 420 at 3 minutes late. That's pretty good for stoners. I feel like.
Okay. Okay.
there's a
Well, I'm
stoner
just
time
wrapped up in
frame.
this crazy
I don't
bus
have
driver shortage. Thank goodness our
yeah,
bus drivers wearing
I
a.
mean I'm sure everyone involved should get some weed medical. You know, it's around in Chicago, right? Massachusetts needs to get on it, I think, though. You know,
Our guys are wearing
but
masks.
I don't think they're
Our
legal
bus
yet.
drivers
Anyway,
locally. All right. Bon cam, bon cam, bon cam.
yeah,
So
working on it.
yeah, Mary
All I
says
have to do is
Detroit
hit
was
this
offering
button.
$18 an hour. Well,
And,
hold on. If we're gonna go bon cam, well then where's
oh, you're gonna make me full screen?
I sure am.
I don't even know if it's ready yet. Is it ready?
Yeah, we're ready for
Is
dispensaries
it
to
not yet?
open in New Jersey too. I mean, they're sort of open, but you have to have the medical license, and I just prefer to have it delivered.
Dude, my my dispensary has
Allegedly.
40% sale.
Yes,
Forty
you did
percent
get
off.
you did get
40%
discounted
off.
weed this week, which is freaking lovely.
Yeah. Like that's awesome. How awesome is that? You know?
That is pretty
There's
badass.
a sale on weed.
I have to say
That's great.
that is pretty badass.
Oh, and what is that in
Oh,
what
Wayne's
is it?
World,
There we go. Oh, it went
nice
fast. Yeah.
camera switch,
Yeah.
nice.
Boncam.
Yeah, dude. We upgraded the Discord, so now you're trying to convince. I know your brother-in-law to get the grow license. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a clear stream right there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And we're back to the bus drivers. So Detroit is offering $18 an hour, and the suburbs are offering 20 plus 1,000 to a $3,000 bonus after 90 days. But drivers are only getting paid for 5 or 6 hours of work a day. So that's about $100 before taxes. And they're like, most people are saying that's not enough to get COVID, take a chance on your life. Like, that's
Right.
fair. When I
Mm.
drove, I went into homes to help get kids out of bed. I gave them food when they didn't have breakfast and gave them money for lunch. Right? Yeah, Bond Cam is stoned too. Nice, nice. Um, we were treated like garbage by school officials. We had to have a wildcat strike just to get the money we were owed, right? It's terrible, right? To fight them
Yeah.
to get the asbestos out of the bus yard and the diesel fumes. And then again, so here, look, in South Carolina, 4,000 students, 400 staff have contracted COVID since the start of the academic year, with one school in Beaufort shifting to remote learning because half its students are in quarantine. Nice.
I
Oh,
sent
okay.
that
Now
to
it
the
says
restream
Periscope.
chat,
So
not
so I guess it's not going to um Odyssey, maybe?
yeah, I don't think Periscope one is working.
All right, so maybe
Who
it's Odyssey
knows?
that's working because it just said
But
okay, wherever
I
your
remember
chat just went.
Odyssey was weird when I did it. So
Yeah, school bus drivers are
but
part-time. They're mostly retired. All right. So again,
yeah.
Kentucky custodian Bill Bailey died Sunday. Again, so here they're kind of documenting what's going on in schools. 86 outbreaks in West Virginia. They're not even talking about Georgia, where they're not it's a mess. My friend's got two kids in school, and she said they'll send a note like somebody in your kid's class tested positive. That that's all they tell you.
Oh, that sucks.
That's all they tell you. They're not quarantining anybody. They're
So
not
you
telling
wouldn't
anybody
even
they
know
got
who or what.
no. They're not masking. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay, again, I don't know what to do. My kids actually prefer to wear the mask. They got used to it. They wore it all last year in daycare, and now that they're going to public school, they're wearing it, and they have no problem with it. And people are uncomfortable seeing it, but knock on wood, my kids haven't. They went through and they had to be quarantined when somebody in their class was exposed, but they were never they never got it. Thankfully, nobody in my family did.
Yeah.
Luckily, at least yet. Who knows? And they've been in public school now for 2 weeks, so we'll see. They're taking a lot of precautions. They got the
Yeah.
shields and hand sanitizing and distancing and all the different rules. And okay, opposition to this policy is
Right.
growing. Protests in Chicago, New York City, Tennessee, Hawaii, against deliberate efforts by school officials to conceal outbreaks. Yeah, here it is. In Georgia, dozens of school bus drivers. So KRTD in his house. Yeah, official routes are part time. When there are field trips, they get hours. Yeah, Odyssey is not live. Okay. Oh well. Bummer on Odyssey. Okay. In their rush to get children into school so the parents can get sent back into workplaces to produce corporate profit, the Biden administration and politicians from both parties have ignored warnings of epidemiologists and public health officials. Pointing to the predominance of Delta, Michael Osterholm, Center for the IDR and Policy at University of Minnesota, and Biden's COVID's transition team said, current guidance is not based on scientific reality. We've seen such a dramatic change in transmission. There's no such thing as a safe school today. And I'll tell you, story just this week, they had to let my kids out of school early because it was going to be too hot, and the school didn't have proper air conditioning and ventilation, especially with COVID. So they just let everybody out early. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And it's definitely been
Yeah.
about getting parents back to work. Yep. Get the kids back in schools, and we'll see but then again, no shots for
Yep.
kids under 12 still, and it's a whole big mess. And then what are the implications, and long-term ramifications if they take it or not, and that's why they haven't done it.